Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Box Office Receipts for the weekend of April 19th, 2019. I'm your host, Tyler Callahan, and this is Easter weekend, but also the calm before the storm of Avengers Endgame. First, let's start off with the weekend numbers. In first place this weekend is The Curse of Layla Lorena, with it having an opening weekend of $26.5 million. In second place is Shazam with $17.3 million for a total now of $121.3 million. In third place is Breakthrough at $11.1 million for a total of $14.6 million. In fourth place, moving back up from sixth from last weekend, is Captain Marvel with $9.1 million. Now for a total of $400 million. Lastly, in fifth place is Little with $8.4 million for a total of $29.3 million. So let's talk about the weekend since it did not match up with my predictions at all. The Curse of La Lorena did way better than expected, and that seemed to be in part due to the Hispanic demographic. The original story itself is a Hispanic story, so this makes sense. But hey, this is another hit for Warner Brothers, so good for them. Their next horror movie now is Annabelle 3, coming in June. Shazam did okay, but it was expected to make about that. Just happened that La Lorena did more. Breakthrough, I was surprised at first was there, but then I realized it was a movie about faith. It's a Christian movie. So obviously Easter weekend would be the prime time for it to make its money, and it did. Captain Marvel finally hit $400 million domestic, so congrats to Marvel Studios and Disney. As for Dumbo, it finally hit $100 million domestic, so while it's still pretty bad, it won't be a bomb, but not great either. Also a small update on Hellboy, it fell over 67% to make $3.9 million for a current total of $19.7 million. Yikes. Anyway, let's move over to international numbers. Shazam is now at 321 million worldwide, so it should finish around 400 million worldwide. It really does depend on how bad of a hit it takes, depending on Avengers. Dumbo is now at 307 million worldwide, so it's a solid Again, its budget of around 170 million is what kills this movie. If it was like Shazam and got around 100 million, then I would say it's doing really good, but it's not. Pet Sematary is about to pass 100 million worldwide, with it at 95.6 million, so a nice moderate hit for Paramount Studios. So there's not a lot this weekend except for a small movie called Avengers Endgame. It's kind of small. But being serious here, yeah, this is going to be huge. This is a record-breaking weekend right here, folks. This hasn't happened that often. Again, the last few in the past decade is Infinity War, Star Wars Episode 7, Episode 8, and Avatar. This is record-breaking stuff right here, so obviously easy top 5, Avengers will be number 1. So my top 5 predictions for the weekend are: first place, Avengers Endgame. Second place, The Curse of Layla Lorena. Third place, Shazam. Fourth place, Captain Marvel. Fifth place, Little. So the idea here is that Captain Marvel will get a boost from Avengers with people doing a double feature, so that'll bring it back up to fourth place. The rest is more or less the same from last week. To add a little bit more fun to this, I'm going to predict that Avengers Endgame will make between $280 and $290 million. What are your predictions for Endgame? Let me know on Instagram at Tyler Callahan Media and on Twitter at Tyler Callahan 95. That is it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. Thank you for listening, and see you next week where we go into all the details of Avengers Endgame's opening weekend.